A sword doesn't build an empire. But this one came close. Short, simple, brutal. The Roman gladius wasn't made to impress. No sweeping strikes. No heroic duels. It was built for one purpose: to win. At first glance, it feels underwhelming. A blade barely half a meter long. Straight. Double-edged. Tapered to a lethal point. No decoration. No excess. And that was its advantage. Because the gladius was never meant to stand alone. It was part of something far more powerful. A system. While their enemies charged with fury, wild swings, raw aggression, screaming defiance, Roman soldiers did something different. They held. Shields locked. Lines tight. No wasted movement. And when the distance closed, they didn't slash. They stepped forward. And stabbed. Fast. Direct. Controlled. Then back behind the shield. Again. And again. Every movement drilled into muscle memory. Repeated endlessly before battle ever began. This wasn't chaos. It was control. The real strength of Rome wasn't in the blade. It was in the discipline of the man holding it. Roman commanders understood a simple, deadly truth. In the crush of a shield wall, a stab is faster than a slash. More precise. More efficient. And far less exposed. A slash might wound. A thrust ends it. In the chaos of battle, where space disappears and time collapses, efficiency decides who lives and who doesn't. Across ancient battlefields, this method proved unstoppable. Against tribes who fought with fury. Against armies that relied on sheer strength. Rome advanced. Step by step. Strike by strike. Not with reckless courage, but with discipline. At the Battle of Alesia, surrounded and outnumbered, the legions did not break. Even after the disaster at the Battle of Cannae, when thousands fell in a single day, Rome did not collapse. It adapted, refined, perfected its way of war. And the gladius remained at the center of it all. But this weapon carried more than just function. To a Roman soldier, it was a symbol of duty, of loyalty, of belonging to something greater than himself. He did not fight for glory. He fought for the man beside him. For the line that could not break. For Rome. And the reality of that fight was anything but clean. It was close. Claustrophobic. Shield against shield. Breath against breath. There was no room for wide swings. No space for error. Only inches. Only moments. The gladius thrived there. Short enough to strike where longer blades failed. Fast enough to kill before the enemy could react. This was not the warfare of legends. It was controlled violence. Measured. Relentless. Effective. Because in the end, the gladius was never just a sword. It was a reflection of Rome itself. Discipline. Unity. Control. And in the hands of men who trusted that system, it helped build one of the most powerful empires the world has ever known. Not through luck. Not through chance. But through the quiet, relentless precision of a single, deliberate strike.